All right, the Detroit Lions may be losing Matthew Stafford for the rest of the season. We'll talk about that later. But first, they created an advisory board that's spearheaded by Chris Spielman. Chris Spielman would also be helping out bridging as a culture builder here and also as a bridge between the football side and the business side of the Detroit Lions thing. So also Barry Sanders joined him, and a former athletic director from Michigan State, which I forget his name, joins him as well too. And they'll be kind of helping decide who'll be the next GM and head coach. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Don't forget to check out our Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. But yep, Chris Spielman leaves his job at Fox. He called his last game last Sunday when the Dallas Cowboys defeated Cincinnati in Cincinnati. And I mean, I like hearing Chris Spielman on the mic, but then again, this just shows that Sheila is admitting that she don't know much about football. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool with me. And that's what you need to do. Her daddy didn't know nothing. Her mama didn't know nothing. So now, instead of relying on Ernie Orcozy, who's a special advisor as well, now they're bringing in guys that contribute in a good way to the organization, and Chris Spielman and Barry Sanders to help make football decisions. So now you got Chris Spielman, who played, who called football games, who knows a good guy, who knows how to make football decisions. Barry Sanders, who know the game, probably the greatest running back of all time, depending on who you ask, but he is. You put him in Dallas, he kills every Emmitt Smith record there. But Emmitt was a good back. Tony Dorsett was a good back. There's some good backs in there, but I think it's just smart. And this was what Tom Gores did by hiring Ed Stefanski, and his son down there coaching in Cleveland. They got a heartbreak loss yesterday to the Baltimore Ravens. But this is what you do. You hire somebody to know the game and to help you make basketball decisions. And this is what Sheila needs to do. She needs to hire somebody that make football decisions. Or Cozy, like 90 years old, so he getting old. So now you're in a situation where she laid the criteria out. She wants somebody with experience from GM. She wants somebody experience from head coaching. But then again, I don't think it limits her from hiring Eric Bieniemy, from hiring Rob Salah. It doesn't limit her from hiring a first-year head coach. So, they're going to help her make football decisions. They're going to help rebuild the Lions culture. What went wrong? You hear Calvin Johnson say that he didn't, the Raiders treated their players way better than the Lions treated him, and he was a superstar selling tickets and selling hella jerseys. So now they can bridge that gap and operate like a real organization where the veterans get special treatment, where the stars get special treatment, where they get days off, where they won't be running gassers when they won't make a mistake. This ain't Remember the Titans. This ain't high school football. Running, laps. And at the end of the day, I think Matt Patricia, his hard training practice regimen is really what, made them come out bad against the Jets. It's what really made them have a lot of injuries over the course of his senior year. And then you probably have players that was injured, but they was healthy enough to play, and they didn't want to go out there and play for Matt Patricia knowing they was going to lose in meaningless football games. So now it's time to, for Chris Spielman to kind of build that culture where players want to come here. We treat players right. We tell Sheila if you pay him early without him asking, you probably can get him cheaper, or then you can send a good message that this organization to turn around and people would love to come and play in Detroit. So now you're going to get that word in her ear. Now they're going to teach Rod Wood about football and how you do things and how a player should be treated, how you should deal with a troublemaker, And the biggest thing is they're going to help her hire the next GM and the head coach. And, that's going to be interesting. Somebody, the number one thing is when they list somebody that can draft, regardless of experience, somebody that can draft talent. Now, if you got somebody with experience and somebody that can draft talent, and you both can get them you both can make them work together to get on the same level, that may work. But then again, you got to sit them in the room and see if they can coexist. And that's what happened with Rick Smith. His wife got sick with him and Bill O'Brien and see eye to eye. So then again, Rick Smith left because Bill O'Brien. So now they got to build a culture where it's fun, where players want to be here. And they got to show Sheila that, okay, you're going to have to spend a little money to get results. And if she is willing to put a championship team on the field, Chris Spielman and Barry Sanders is exactly going to help her get there. So that's the thing about it. And the dude from Michigan State as well, too. That's the thing about it. It's getting experience around the table who can help you make football decisions because you don't know what the hell you're doing. That is the number one thing. And when she can admit that I don't know it, I'm going to need some help. I'm going to lean on guys that I trust, Spielman. I'm going to lean on Barry Sanders. I'm going to lean on this Michigan State athletic director. Now we got a room, Ernie Cozy. Now we got a room full of experienced people that I can lean on. you know. And that's the thing, you know, just delegating to, you know, what you think about this guy, and should we hire this guy, or, you know, what do you do in an interview process. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. The Lions really need a GM who can draft. When you draft well, it's cheap. When you're able to draft guys, and the Lions have had spotty success with drafting guys in the middle rounds. When you talk about guys late, between Mayhew, Luan, and Mellon was terrible, but drafting guys late in the first round, like Riley Reef and guys of that nature who don't really pan out, or second round picks where they've historically been bad on, Tease Tabor, Amir Abdullah, Ryan Bros, Titus Young, you know, you got the hit on the second round. Second round has a tremendous amount of talent. Derrick Henry, Mike Thomas, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of good second rounders that slip. And really hitting in the third and fourth round, you know, and had spotty success late. Willie Young was a 6th round pick. Quadre Diggs was a 4th round pick. Kenny Galladay was a 3rd round pick. Jonah Jackson was with a 4th round pick. So they had success hitting, but can they have the success in one draft? And this don't mean you're going to draft a Tom Brady or draft a Derrick Henry. You're just going to draft guys in the middle rounds that you can develop, that can contribute if somebody get hurt. Or some of these guys that can develop or come in that was hitting diamonds in the rough, and they can come in and contribute right away. You know, that's what you need. You know, Darius Slay was one of the greatest second-round picks they had. We need more second-round picks like that. When you get late, we need more picks like Taylor Decker in the first, Ragnar in the first. We need more picks like that, not Riley Reef. You know, one year they passed on Montez Sweat, and I think it was the Ragnar year. That's not a bad, but he turned into a monster. And then this year, you had a situation where Matt Patricia, and Bob Quinn made a mistake, and they drafted Jeff Okudah when they could have a quarterback. You can't have those mistakes. And this is what they need to be looking at, a GM that can draft. Even though experienced, that can draft, then we think about experience. You know, a GM that understands that, look here, man, we need talent over need. Now, we got talent and a need, and we got a talented player that's receiver, and we got a talented player that we rate the highest of safety, and we need a safety more than we can take them. But you can't sit here and reach and say we need a quarterback, and a quarterback like Okudah wasn't worthy of the 3rd pick. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback is most important, and you got to do what the Patriots did. They might take a 2nd round draft pick and take Jimmy Garoppolo. They might take a 4th or 5th and take Jacoby Brissett. You know, showcase them in preseason, develop them, showcase them in preseason, then they ready to go and flip them for picks. And that's what the Lions got to do as well, too. The quarterback position is too important. You got to keep who was the name, Frank Weiss, behind, you know, who was it, Jim Kelly, who I forget whichever it was. Yeah, it was Frank Weiss. Then you got to keep, Hosteller behind, what was it, the New York quarterback? I forget his name. Was it Phil Simms? Might have been Phil Simms, but you got to keep a good backup quarterback. And they cost nothing. 2nd round pick costs nothing. A 3rd, 4th round pick costs nothing. Every now and again, you get those quarterbacks, and behind your quarterback, you develop them. And if your quarterback fall off and get hurt, you put them right in. So this is great that you got a football background, a round table. You got a Cozy, you got Barry, you got Chris Spielman, you got the dude from Michigan State, the old athletic director. Now you got a dream team. Now they have to make the decision on a GM and then the head coach, you know, or with the GM and then get a head coach. And then you got to change the culture. Jim Caldwell had a great culture here. But then again, they didn't draft good while Jim Caldwell was here. So you got to draft. That's the number one thing. You got to draft and treat your players the right way. Kenny Galladay shouldn't be waiting on the payday. He been playing on a discount for his whole career. Pay the man. Or you trade him. You can't have no more Calvin Johnsons, Barry Sanders. You got to be able to foresee things. And that was the Patriots good for. They could see Richard Seymour slipping. They traded him. And that's what the Lions have to identify and do. Change the culture with draft. Change the culture. Treat players right. Play players so players want to come here. And you got to be able to not lose players for nothing. And be able to forecast when they falling off, when they slipping, and flip them for something. That's the number one thing. But drafting is going to be really good. Changing the culture. Those two things are going to bring veteran free agents here. That's what's going to happen. They're going to bring free agents here. And that's what you got to understand. Once you draft well and treat players right, and you want to cusp of winning something, them guys going to come. So we'll see, man. If you ask me about GM, you know who I'm rolling with. I'm rolling with Ozzie Newsome. I'm rolling with somebody that's improving and done something. But not mad at Rick Smith, not mad at the dude from was it Chris Greer, whatever his name, from New York. You know, whoever they can find out. But hey, let me know what you guys think. But let's continue on. Matthew Stafford had negative rehab test, but today said he had some cartilage damage, and that Matthew Stafford could miss the Titans game and possibly miss the rest of the season. Because at the end of the day, you probably have the playoffs if you lose the Titans game, which they ain't playing all that good football, no way. And that's a winnable game for Stafford, and going down to Tennessee, that'll be interesting. What is that this week? But other than that, man, with Stafford, you're really in position where if you get Zach Wilson or somehow you get a Trey Lance or you get a Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence, you're in a position where if you don't get Trevor Lawrence or Fields, then you might have to keep Stafford to really, help, groom the next guy. But if you think Zach Wilson come in and play right away, that's risky. That's real risky if you don't believe in Chase Daniels or David Blogg like that. And if he don't come in and ball and get injured, that's going to be tough. But the great thing about bringing a guy in next year in a draft, you got a good O-line. If Highside come back and get healthy and play the right guard's position, you draft a tackle and he can compete, with Terrell Crosby, you in a situation now, you got a good line, you find you a good power back somewhere, and if you bring back Galladay, then you got a good receiver, and you got one of the best tight end this year in the NFC because George Kittle's been injured. You got a good team around the guy, but people got to remember, they only got 5 draft picks this year. So the chances of moving up, you're going to trade every pick you gotten. I'm not opposed to that because in past years, with Bob Quinn and Mayhew and Lewan, you could have traded every pick and moved up for one guy, and they would have had better draft history than they do now. Well, Matthew Stafford, man, maybe he walk on his own. But to be honest, then you got other options. You got famous Jameis Winston. You got who else you got out there? You got Jameis Winston. You got Jimmy Garoppolo who could be available. Cam Newton who could be available. Carson Wentz who could be available. Who knows? Jared Goff, Taysom Hill can be available. So you're in that type of situation where you can have somebody available at the drop of a dime. So you can come in here, Stafford leave. You can get Dwayne Haskins, or you can get Cam, you can get Jameis, you can get a Jimmy Garoppolo and hold down the spot for a year and draft a guy and develop him behind them. So, that is an option. But honestly, if Marvin Jones caught that pass, maybe Stafford don't get hurt. And they score. But then again, you're going to understand Stafford's inability to go point for point is evident. He missed Marvin Jones, which could have been a touchdown. So you got a quarterback who can't go point for point with Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. So then that means you got to get a defense that can do that. You got to get linebackers that can get downhill, field holes, cover. You got D linemen that got to create havoc. The Lions secondary ain't that bad. Because Okuda going to get better. Tracy Walker going to be better just with a different system. And Aurier is going to be, this is first year really starting. He playing well. So this is in a situation where you got the secondary. Now you got to develop the front seven. And that kind of be my focus. If I did go for a quarterback next year in the draft, like Zach Wilson per se, because I say you there, I'd take him. But then the rest of my picks, it'll be linemen, O-linemen, and there'll be defensive players. You can find good interior linemen and linemen all across the board. And don't forget, you're going to have Julian Okora coming back. That's a beast next year. You're going to have, if you can bring Romeo back, that's going to be nice. So you got some things to build. John Panisi going to get better. Deshaun Hand probably done. Trey Flowers, he going to be here because you got to pay him. He probably done. But next year, you got things to build on. You bring in some good interior linemen. Bring in a couple outside linemen. Okora going to get better. Bring in some linebackers. Some great ones that go late. And just really over the years build that front seven up, man. But, that's just my opinion on it. Hopefully the new GM come in and just do a hell of a job. Hopefully we can get a Super Bowl in our lifetime, man. But I think Sheila did the smartest thing in it for Stafford. Not everybody getting what they want, including me. Now they tanking. So without Stafford, there's no chance they beat Tennessee with Chase Daniels at quarterback. He might get pulled. Maybe Blog got a better chance, but hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to check out the Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Don't forget to check out check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video question, just want to chop it up, you want to advertise your business on the channel, Twitter's the fast way, and Facebook and Instagram. Want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description. Appreciate all the love and support. Keep sharing videos. Best way to donate is share the videos. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Check my YouTube channels out. Goodfellas Sports TV and Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0. Appreciate the love and support. We got 'em.